Hello, my name's Nick Monks. I'm going to read something which isn't really poetry. I wrote it during COVID-19. It's not even good quality, it's just prose. And it's my fantasies or imaginary world about the housing estate I live in. I assume nearly everybody lives on housing estates. It's called The Concrete House. 1. The house appeared in the middle of Janetsville, Formby Crescent, in the middle of the road. It had no features and was just a grey block of concrete, 20 foot high, 30 foot wide. Zoe at No 31 suggested it was an alien invasion. Lucas walked around its circumference and chatted to the locals about the new house. No vehicle could get past, and the locals had to catch public transport. Lucy took around strawberries, but there was no door to knock on and nobody about. Finlay suggested there were paedophiles and were an environmental pollution. The house was listed on the land registry as owned by Mr. and Mrs. Smith. 2. The concrete house was nondescript and forlorn. No 15 rang the police and said they were concerned the neighbours had not come out for months. The police arrived and said, after trying to find a door to knock on but failing, that all the paperwork seemed to be in order, then asking No 15 about where they worked and querying their lives. The residents down the cul-de-sac were livid. They couldn't get out of their cars. They couldn't get their cars out. The house of grey was beautiful and minimalist, and people would come from miles around to see it. 3. One day at 3 a.m, the top of the concrete house glowed white, then red and blue, and thin glowing space beams climbed on the roof. They reascended inside. Then the house moved foundations and ascended into the night sky, leaving just the road and memories for the inhabitants as the town at the beginning of a vast peninsula. 4. The house was photographed extensively and considered a minimalist work of art. Moves were made to make it a Grade 1 listed building and even a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Half of the street considered the Smiths as exemplary neighbours who spread peace and were highly intelligent. The other 35% as troublemakers who were selfish and never talked to anybody. Andrea at No 51 told her neighbours they had ruined her life and she still felt traumatised. Generally speaking, 2 sociologists at Oakland University considered they were the best neighbours anybody had ever had, and the priest at St. Oswald's in New Longton made moves to canonise the Smiths. 5. It is darker on Formby Crescent in February 2023. Each neighbour is playing piano in the spare room. All hope to be the new Liberace or Barry Manilow, and Bob is settling down to play snakes and ladders with his mother and father, Cherry and Hans. Other neighbours walk to the shops, and nobody remembers the Smiths anymore, how they chatted, burnt the midnight oil and drank gin and lime before they zoomed up and away to the NGC 55 Galaxy. Thanks.